Some of the ideas and concepts have been really, enlightening for me. So the whole week has just been fantastic. So I appreciate the effort that yourself and the team have put in. So thanks very much.
It's definitely been a fantastic week with you guys. Thank you so much for spending time and organizing this in such a brilliant structure.
And I was a little bit. I wasn't sure what to expect being an online module, and not all the experiences. None of the experience has ever been as good as this. So the speakers, the moderation, Rebecca, everything is just absolutely perfect.
Two speakers, really. I mean, it's been an amazing week. I imagine it's been exceptionally hard to pull it together, both from Durham and San Francisco. It's been phenomenal, really. I've taken quite a lot from it. Hap last night, really, no matter how much he's achieved, he reflects on the people that have helped him make it. And it's nice to see someone so humble, and everyone this week, lecturers and speakers, and even the cohort itself has been, amazing. There's not been a bad attitude in there, which is brilliant. So I wish everyone the best.
I came into this MBA program more or less from agricultural background. It was more or less like something I just felt like, okay, let me try something new. Let me try to learn some new skills. And it was more or less like, why are you doing that? And I think all the courses I've taken to this point were quite good, but I can really say this was like really, really exceptional. Not just in the content, but more or less like the people you're discussing with. These are kind of like people who are successful, people who have failed in the past, kind of like made it through failure and things like that. I mean, we check it out from like someone like Michael Chong, the way he kind of like presented with his really, let me say, fascinating, weird facts, which you're not even thinking about. And then we talk about like someone like Hap, who learned a lot, who is now a friend of mine, I can say.
Obviously, this module's been about new venture creation, but I think a couple of things have just like really changed my perspective for my current job, especially the design thinking and those innovation horizons. Are we investing enough time in actually what's really important, and are we thinking in the right way about opportunities? But I think ultimately the reason I took this particular module is, I came into the week looking for inspiration. I think generally I found it. I thought both happy.
What everyone has said about the way the faculty has really put this on and made it as engaging for all of us as it can be. So really, thank you all. My key takeaway, I guess, has already been mentioned by many, which is this focus on culture, but in particular the need for urgency to get things done and really learn from failure, but keep on moving forward. So I think that was perhaps one of the most important.
Perspective of the investor and the customer being very key to success. The fact that investors actually buy the person and the passion above all else. And then of course there's a fascinating concept of the Silicon Valley and just the concentration of talent, the resources in one place, and then the effect that it's had on business, especially the tech space, not fintech. And then it's okay to fail, but just fail forward. And then just the fact that Hap has been able to do so much with a failure that happened in his life, he's been able to use it, to actually teach us, and help other people do better.
Reading around about that topic, and I quite impressed to see that most of the speakers or my peers mentioned about the sustainability and the sustainability, other creation of values or new venture creation, all those kind of things will connect to the sustainability. Global issues. So I really impressed.
And one of the things, the people I really enjoyed hearing from most was Duncan Logan, I think. That was really interesting. And I was thinking a lot about one of the things that he said, which is about you end up being the average of your 4 closest friends. And I was thinking that, maybe that's one of the strengths of MBA programs, is we're on MBA programs with really highly ambitious, talented people. And that's why I guess it's good for us to kind of keep in touch going forward.
In terms of sort of learning, I think that, even if not from a new venture creation perspective, just from even established companies, certainly ones that I've worked for, they don't look into the future at all. The future is, what are our targets next year and how are we going to get there? they're not taking this view of actually what the world will look like in 10 years' time and how we can begin to adjust the company to fit the possible demands of the future world. And I think that.
But what I really enjoyed was yesterday, which I was late for, the other Kaizen, was it Kaizen meeting? Yeah, I thought that was fascinating, and I just wanted to stay on that for the rest of my life, actually, because it covers so many different things, just the topics and how they address things. You got all the ideas from their presentations. That was amazing.
What have I learned? B2B is the way to go, definitely. Must be defensible and scale. So that's going to be my core for any business idea going forwards. And what's really unique is how they turn most B2Cs into B2Bs. So that's a real good takeaway to have.
Culture, that kept on cropping up again and again, whether that was at a macro level as to why Silicon Valley itself has been so successful, or at a firm level. I think that's quite evidently very important. Another one was failure. That failure isn't failure. You're kind of expected to fail in Silicon Valley, whereas in somewhere like the UK, it's looked upon very differently, and that goes back to culture. I suppose.
It was mentioned during these days. It was that sometimes people that don't actually know what they want until you show them. So it was pretty insightful. Actually, the entire week it was excited. It was full of new, challenges, information. I realized that everybody was very engaged with the program.
For this week, because I've lived in Silicon Valley now for 6 years, and I've really not, I guess, embraced it the way I probably should have. So that's my big takeaway. There's a lot more.